You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Word. Today we are going to be covering over Shadow Rider Calyrex. Now, Shadow Rider Calyrex is a deck I've covered a bunch on this channel. It came out in Chilling Reign, but it's my first time covering it in our post-rotation standard format. So, out with the old, no more tag teams, no more Gengar Mimikyu. We are in with the new Sword and Shield on, Sword and Shield to Evolving Skies. So brand new format, a brand new year of Pokemon, and I'm here to celebrate it with you. Check out the deck list in the description below. It is a pretty spicy list. Playing it in the post-rotation tournament, so I'm going to have some of the gameplay from there. Give this video a like if you like the content. It really does help boost the algorithm if you do give this video a like. I cannot stress that enough. Leave a comment below letting me know if you like Shadow Rider, if you hate Shadow Rider. That really helps out too. And of course, subscribing to the channel. We just passed 5,500. We're so close to 5,600 subs, and our stretch goal is 7,500. So let's try to get a bunch of subs. Thank you so much to everyone for helping. Let's jump into the deck list and see exactly what it looks like. Jumping into the Shadow Rider list, you might be like, yo Zach, there's certainly some weird cards in here that may or may not make sense, and I'm going to explain it all to you. So Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX it's very good because it has the Underworld Door ability. You can attach a Psychic Energy card from your hand to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon, and if you attach an energy, you draw 2 cards. So Underworld Door, absolutely busted, giving everyone an opportunity to draw cards, accelerate energies. You really can't ask for a better ability. On top of that, its max Geist attack does 10 plus 30 for each Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Again, very, very, very good attack, doing a lot of damage. There's a lot of Pokemon that are spiritually kind of surrounding this Pokemon, Zoroark GX being one of them, Malamar being another one of them. So a lot of those concepts were tier 1. No doubt in my mind that this is one of the best decks, if not the best deck in formats. You have a couple options to evolve from. You have either the promo Shadow Rider or you have the normal set Shadow Rider. I like this one more a little bit because you have access to stopping your opponent's special energies, and stadiums can be really helpful against Rapid Strike, Urshifu, Dragapult, decks that play Path to the Peak. Astral Barrage gives you a very strong chance against single prize card attacking decks, such as Rapid Strike Malamar. You have access to Shadow Rider Calyrex V, the promo one. Cloak in the Shadows is great if your opponent's playing some kind of mill or control deck. Hollow Binding is great if you need to pause your opponent for a turn with the retreat, or if you want to hit hard for 130. This attack does do really well against things such as Zamazenta V. The other way that we can play this deck is we have Alcremie VMAX. So after attaching all those energies, we could discharge them and go with Gmax Whisk, doing 60 damage for each energy we discard. We can get those energies back with either Ordinary Rod or maybe Training Court. But we do have ways to get the energies back. Adornment's also a great way to accelerate energy into play. Some lists play a 2-2 line. That might be the correct way to play this deck. I'm still experimenting with this list, so I do want to let people know that. Cresselia is one of those cards that if you're going first, of course this deck's not great, and you're going first and that's what your deck wants to do. If you're going second, you have the option to follow up with Crescent Glow, so you basically just don't instantly lose. In our post-rotation format, it's really heavily dependent on the coin flip, so I do want to let people know that. I think it's much better to go first with this deck, and then if you go second, this allows you not to like instantly lose against most decks. Galarian Articuno is a great way to accelerate energy into play. You can use Psy Laser, beam something off, or try to hit it or finish the game off with it. I did include one of the new Pumpkaboo. In previous iterations of this deck did play Marshadow from Unbroken Bonds to get rid of stadiums, and then the Marshadow would discard itself. The Pumpkaboo stays in play, but it is a searchable way to get around Path to the Peak, something this deck can struggle with. Now, I know this deck plays its own Path to the Peaks, but this is so it can get through things such as Zamazenta V, which is incredibly popular in our post-rotation formats. So depending on how popular that might be, Path to the Peak is really good to either stop abilities, stop Zamazenta, or it's a card that you're going to pitch away every single match. Beyond that, the deck's pretty basic, so I want to outline that when I play through the deck. I mean, what am I going to cover about Psychic Energies? You attach them to your Pokemon, right? If you have any questions, I mean, totally I'm an open book. Ask any questions in the comments below, and I'll get back into it. Let's jump into some gameplay. Alright, so we're going to be calling the coin flip, seeing exactly if we're going to be going first or second. I mean, with our deck, I think we really want to be going first. So just waiting on our opponent here to Go for it. We won the coin flip. Let's go. Yeah, we definitely want to be going first. Now, I am playing in a tournament while I'm playing this. I am playing against a RAYQUAZA deck. So we'll see how Ray vs Shadow Rider really works out. Our hand's not bad here. I really don't see any issues with it. So starting with Cresselia, not like the worst starts, but it's also not terrible. We have access to Fog Crystal. I think at this point it's much better for us to go Fog Crystal first, see exactly what we got going on up in this deck. I'm going to grab out this Shadow Rider. We play that one to get around things like Zamazenta V if we ever really need to worry about it. We did prize 3 Psychic Energies. That's something that we want to worry about. We did prize Alcremie VMAX. Again, something that we have to worry about. So I'm just going to go for Shadow Rider V here. I think that sounds like a really good play. Quick Ball away the Pumpkaboo. So we're not grabbing an energy. I just think it's much more worthwhile to be grabbing out things and determining what's in our prize cards. So let's go like this. Our opponent plays Marnie. They don't really play a Ray to get around a lot of things. So we're just going to go Air Balloon onto the Cresselia. And then we're going to pass. I don't want to play Training Court down yet. I'd rather bump their Stormy Mountain or Tower of Waters or something like that and see if we can get set up before them. So that's really our game plan here. I think we should be in a pretty okay spot. But they could do a lot of damage to us, and we might not be able to do the same amount of damage to them, especially since our Alcremie's prize, our VMAX's prize, that is. So seeing where their start is, going for Mareep, looks like they're going to be playing down some kind of supporter. Either that or they're trying to lower their hand for Exciting Stage. Or maybe both. Maybe they're just going to be using Exciting Stage. I know that when I've played this deck, the deck does not get everything I want it to. So I'm going to go Training Court because there's no reason not to play it. I'm also going to evolve this one because I like access to Astral Barrage. I think that it could be very strong against this particular matchup. Now, if I take out the Flaffies, they really can't do too much. They actually don't play Rose, so I might actually go for an Astral Barrage strategy. I'm trying to build up energies there. So I'm actually going to go Underworld Door. I'm going to go afterwards because I don't want to pitch anything. I'm going to attach here naturally for my turn. I'm going to attach to Cresselia because there's nothing else I'm going to be doing during my turn. And I'd rather just farm more energies out of my deck. So just a little bit of an executive call. We're going to go ahead here and go Shadow Rider. We could also evolve this one. So maybe we should have held on to the energy, but I'm not really too worried about it. Let's go ahead and go Underworld Door. Let's attach an energy here for our turn. Let's go Underworld Door. Let's attach an energy here for our turn. We've already attached for our turn. You want to know what? I'm going to go Galarian Articuno and just get more energies into play since Alcremie is not really ever going to come out. So we're going to go ahead here and just try to build up a bunch of energies in play. And I'm going to go for Crescent Glow. Crescent Glow seems particularly strong. Now, one thing that I think that might have been better is if I held on to those energies, because now I actually don't have access to Underworld Door. So it is something that I probably need to think about a little bit more. Now, I might just go ahead and power up the Calyrex V. I think that might be the best thing. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 energies in play. So depending on what our opponent does here this turn, I mean, okay, so they evolved. We won't be able to just take out the Rayquaza instantly like that, but depending on what they have or whatever's going on, we might be able to do some damage to it. I don't know if they are going to go for like a Research, if they're going to go for an Azure Pulse. Really don't know what they have available in their hand. Like that last card, I honestly can't tell. Right now they're hitting for 160, plus 20, 180. So again, it might be worthwhile for us to take out their Flaffies. Might be worthwhile for us to do a lot of things. Maybe it's a good idea for us to hit into the Ray with Crescent Glow or with a Photon Laser for 120. Maybe they won't find a way out of the active spots. There's a lot of things that might happen. So they're pitching that hand away. So far, it looks like a pretty good setup for them. Now, they are only down to one last stadium. So that is something that we do want to consider. They play 3 copies of Switch, 2 copies of Air Balloon. I wonder if there's anything else that they have. Just another Mareep. So they haven't really played any of those down. Okay, and there's their research. So I might be able to like boss and go for Astral Barrage. Yeah. I think that might be the best play. Or maybe, you want to know what, I just go with Astral Barrage now. I'm honestly like stuck at what's the best play here. I'm going to go for Training Court. Put that there. At this point, I don't know if Astral Barrage is going to be an actually acceptable strategy. Because they could just always just get out of the active spot and hit us. At the same time, we don't have enough energies to make anything really happen here. So it's one of those things where I'm just like having an internal dilemma here. Because our opponent doesn't necessarily like, they could just retreat and knock us out. They're doing 200, they need 1 more energy, I think. Okay, I'm going to go for an Evolution Incense and think about it for a second. If worst comes to worst, I could always put this at the bottom of the deck. I could just snipe out a Flaffy and get the energy back with Training Court. Wouldn't be the worst play of all. Astral Barrage would be really nice if we did go ahead. I'm going to go for another Evolution Incense and just double check. We do have the other Shadow Rider here. So if I do go for that kind of play, it wouldn't be terrible. They might eventually run out of energy. But it doesn't really put us on par with like knocking out our opponent's Pokemon. So that being said, I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to play a Marnie. I think I might go for the Astral Barrage play. Because again, if I just go ahead and attack into this, maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe enough energies in play really adds up. That might be the part that I'm missing here. And I'm going to be able to 2-shot them. You want to know what? We're going to go ahead and do that. That sounds a little bit more secure at this point. I'm going to go ahead and retreat here. Boss's Orders up this Pokemon. I don't think I'm in a good spot because they got a relatively strong setup. But we're just going to go ahead and go Max Geist for the 190. Like, they have the 320 HP. I don't think we have a great way to get around it. I wish we had 1 more energy so we could, like, kind of pivot with a Galarian Articuno. So at this point, it looks like they're able to, like, relatively power themselves up quickly. What does the Alistair do? Drop to 3 cards. You may discard 3. I mean, that seems fine. But this is really, like, I know a lot of players don't like Ray for some reason or another. And I know that, like, the focus of this video is to really show you what's going on with the Shadow Rider deck. But it is one of those things where, like, when Ray sets up, its damage output is almost unparalleled. I know it discards energies, so it might just be a worse version of Shadow Rider. But we did prize our Alcremie, and this is built in, if that makes any kind of sense. Okay, cool. So, we're going to send up our Pokemon with the free retreat. Like, it sucks that we lost 3 energies there, but we will be able to get a response knockouts. And we also will be able to do another cool thing here, which is getting access to our Alcremie V. So we're going to go Alcremie V goes down here, because if we get it off the prize cards, I think we still have a chance at winning, because they can only attach 1, 2, 3 energies with Dynamotor, and they can only attach an energy for their turn. So we're going to go Marnie here first. And it looks like we might be in a good spot to get anything that we want going on. Like, they might not have a lot here. So let's go Training Court first. We're going to grab an energy. And we need to knock out this Pokemon. So let's build up enough energies to knock it out. We won't be able to knock it out for 120 because they have, we were like 1 energy short of making that happen. We're not playing Fog Crystals first because we want to be drawing into our energies. So, just trying to improve our chances of having more energy in play. So let's go Underworld Door. We're going to attach the energy there. Ooh, we have access to maybe more energy. I don't know if there's really anything else that I like super care about having access to. Like, I have the energies for Training Courts. They only have access to Kricketune or being able to go Ray. So, reasonably here, I think it seems like a good idea for us to go ahead and we're going to go retreat into this, and we're going to get the knockout with Max Guys. We're going to draw 3 prize cards. Now, if we get an Alcremie VMAX, we have some kind of play. That's really where our goal is. There's some of the energies that we were looking for. So not the play that we were looking for, but maybe we can now attack with Galarian Articuno, or maybe we could go ahead and do something. Our opponent plays 3 copies of Boss. They haven't played a single copy of Boss, but they will not be able to knock us out as far as I'm concerned. They could power up 3 energies, and if they do not get a VMAX, they might be in trouble. We could also attach an additional 3 energies this turn and force their hands. So, looks like they're just going to get set up for another turn. And maybe, you want to know what, maybe this is the turn that we decide to go for an Astral Barrage play. That really might be our best option. Maybe it's where we go for the Galarian Articuno play. Maybe there's a lot of plays that we can do. If we can get a Boss Orders on that rate, and if they don't evolve, we might be in a really good spot. So we'll have to see what they do here, because that's really what we're hoping for. So there's their boss. I think they're trying to draw cards off of Exciting Stage. Yeah. So it would have been cool if we also played down Path to the Peak. But if they don't get a Ray VMAX out here this turn, which, I mean, they've already have one in their discard pile, we might have a way to attack into them. Because we still have access to a couple of Arbos, which could be incredibly strong. So 3 energies, they could do 260 with Ray. Oh? They should not be attacking us. Yeah. So I think that's really where they're going to struggle in this game, because we can now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our game plan now has changed, where we're going to be able to go Underworld Door, power up the Alcremie. We would have got the boss too, which is really nice. Let's go Underworld Door. Let's power up the Alcremie again, just so it has access to retreat. We're going to go ahead and go Training Court, grab an energy back. We're going to attach an energy for our turn. I'm going to go Air Balloon here. I'm going to go ahead, retreat into this, and we're going to drop a Path to the Peak. Just in case they have anything, I don't want them to be able to use Kricketune to draw in the cards or anything else like that. I don't think they have any kind of win con at all, but I still think it's better to draw Path in case there's something that I'm missing. We have enough energies in play, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I don't think that they could do the 140 damage remaining to win the game. Looking at their deck list, they'd have to have like a, yeah, I don't see how it would happen. So we're going to go for the knockout there, and depending on what they send up, we should be in an okay spot. So I'm really glad that we went for that early, like, half hit on the Ray. It's funny how Alcremie VMAX is literally our last remaining prize card. So that might be something that's weird, because, again, this is like a little bit of a teched out list with Pumpkaboo and Articuno and things like that. But so far, we'll have to see. So now they cannot play Boss's Orders, which means they have to do 320 damage this turn in order to win. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can knock out any Pokemon in play next turn, because we could even get back our Pumpkaboo with Ordinary Rod, search it out with Fog Crystal, Pumpkin Patch, or is it Pumpkin Patch? Pumpkin Pit? Pumpkin Pit away our own Path to the Peak, and then knock out whatever they have. So I think we got this game locked up. They even took away our own Path to the Peak. I'm looking at the list, no Pokemon Catcher, no nothing. They will not be able to get the knockout with Spiral Burst, because they can only discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. So they could only do 180 damage. So overall, I think we're in the clear. This matchup was super close, but when Ray gets set up, it becomes really scary. And I think it's one of those things where this deck is pretty underrated in this format. And it looks like our opponent's probably just going to be going through their final, like, motion, just to make sure that, like, in case I miss something, that they have access to win the game next turn. Getting all 4 Flaffy in play is absolutely wild. Being able to power up 4 energies is really, like, the play. I don't know if they're going for the Ray, or maybe they prize their other Rays. I'm honestly not sure. We're going to give our opponent the well played. Unless, of course, I've missed something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we just get the knockout with Max Geist. That's 280 damage. So, no need to attach energy. No need to waste our opponent's time. We're going to take that dub and show really where Shadow Rider can do its thing. Alright, so we're going to call the coin flip against Eric and M. We're going to call Tails. We won the coin flip again. Really important in post-rotation. Winning the coin flip usually means you are doing very good in the game. Now, as long as we can combine that with a half-decent hands, our hand is like half-decent in terms of where we have a Shadow Rider and we can evolve, but we're really looking at the next top deck. But thankfully, our opponent is mulliganing. So I'm playing in a tournament here, which tournament am I playing in? Post-rotation tournaments. So, yeah, I honestly forgot. It's just like a post-rotation, smaller event. But I figured I'd record some of my gameplay because it's going to be good for a video. So I'm just going to let our opponent know that we are nice. Same here. They actually mulligan 4 times? What? Okay, this makes it a lot better because we have access to Fog Crystal. We can power up something on the bench. Because even though we had the Underworld door, it was looking a little bit spooky. And we're going to go ahead and Fog Crystal, search our deck for an Alcremie V. If it does exist in there. That is very important in this matchup, by the way, peeps. Alcremie V is very important. So we're going to grab that. We're going to play this down. I don't know if I want to attach an energy. I think it's almost like, I think I have to. Not to the active, but likely just to the bench Shadow Rider. If worse comes to worse, we could balance them with Shadow Mist for the majority of the match. So I think I'm actually going to pass as is. There's no reason to play down Training Court because they do play 4 copies of Path to the Peak. Now, luckily, we do play Switch in our deck as well, so we will be able to balance in and out of that. But depending on what they have here, we're relatively hoping that our opponent has a slower start because they could slow us down big time with Path. And Path Marnie is really where this deck gets sticky. If they stick us with a bad hands, it can get really bad. But we do play Pumpkaboo in our deck. Really, this is not the worst. Now, depending on what they do here, they're just going to be going for Keep Calling. They can't search out Dragapults. So I feel like we're in an incredibly strong spot. And we did get out a Shadow Rider as well. Now, it comes down, do I want to use Shadow Mist or not? I think I will. I think I'm going to go ahead and go like this attached so I can use Shadow Mist. Maybe stop them because they did waste one of their... they only have 2 Psychic Energies left, and that's not including if any are prized. Let's evolve here. Let's grab an Alcremie VMAX. Alcremie VMAX is how you win this matchup. You could force your opponent into an Oko. Not going to play Crobat because of Path to the Peak, and we're going to go for Professor's Research. So we can get around their ability, and I think that sounds like a really good idea. So we're going to go ahead, Training Court here. We have access to our own Fog Crystal, so I like how that could work. I could also just get the knockout on the Salba, which I think is reasonably what I'm looking for here. So let's go Fog Crystal. I do see that there's no other Crobat or anything else like that. I could go grab a Pumpkaboo, but I'm going to keep that in my hand just for the sake of it. So let's go Psychic Energy here. I might just go for... Yeah, I think I'm going to just power up this Pokemon. I think that sounds like the best play. So let's go Underworld Door on here. See what we top deck. We did get an Air Balloon, but it's really not enough. Like, our hand does not have much going on. Like, we are out of energy, and that's really where things get, like, wacky. I am going to put this down there. But we're really trying to top deck into an energy, a supporter, anything else. So I'm just going to pass this hand off. I don't think it's worthwhile for me to do anything else. They still don't have much, and we have extra energy in play compared to our opponents. So it sucks that our Crobat's prize. So looking at what our deck list can do, we just need to like think things out when it comes to like what they may or may not be able to do. Oh, there's another path going down. They do play 4, but we do play 3 training courts, and we do play the Pumpkaboo. So really just trying to get around that. Maybe they're... Okay, it looks like they're going to grab a Dragapult, and they probably have another supporter of some sort. Maybe they're going to play a Marnie. Marnie might be the card that we're hoping for. We did play a Research that turn. Yes, let's go. It's a Marnie. Now, I kind of feel bad for not putting down my air balloon, but it is what it is. So we do have Fog Crystal. Fog Crystal can search out that Pumpkaboo, which can take care of Path to the Peak, which means we might have a really good turn in front of us, especially if we're able to get a bunch of energies or really attack first before that Dragapult V. I think we're in a really good spot either way right now. And this is where like Shadow Rider can sneakily get around this kind of matchup. If they ever try to aim on the Pumpkaboo, it's something that I could also Ordinary Rod back. So here, I don't see them doing anything else except pass. And I mean, we got our other Shadow Riders, so let's go ahead and start off this Pumpkin Pit Party, really showing how Pumpkaboo can be good. I don't want to like say in this video that I think Pumpkaboo is like needed in this deck, because I'm really not sure. Like really not sure. But we'll see. So I'm going to start off by going Underworld Door onto this Pokemon. I think that seems really worthwhile. I'm going to go Underworld Door onto this Pokemon. Just because I want to be able to power it up next turn if that's an option. I do like my Air Balloon here. And when it comes down to other things that I might want into my deck, I'm honestly not sure if there's anything else I want on my bench. So I'm just going to evolve this one and play a Marnie. We will be able to take a prize card with our Shadow Rider here. I think that's really the big thing, is that we're able to take a prize card with Shadow Rider. And if not, we could also just go ahead and go Alcremie VMAX way. I'm going to go for an Air Balloon onto this Pokemon. I'm going to go for Evolution Incense, just trying to rip cards out of my deck that I might not use. I'm going to retreat because I do want to power up this one since it already has an energy. Or actually, you want to what? I'm going to power up the Alcremie VMAX in case it gets to that point. Because we could retreat and just maybe attack with that. We do have access to Training Court. We do have access to an energy. I don't want to attach the energy because we can draw more cards next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go Max Geist. So Max Geist hidden pretty hard with that large 190. I'm really happy with the boss's orders. We might be able to knock out one of these Dragapults. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have enough energies to go Alcremie VMAX, knocking out a Dragapult VMAX. And they don't play Reset Stamp. That's one of the bigger things that we have to realize when it comes to this format, is Reset Stamp doesn't exist. We've already taken out 2 of their paths. We only have to go through 2 more paths to see exactly what's going on. Horror Psychic Energy is something that we got to watch out with when it comes to some of these damage pings. But right now, I think we're relatively chilling. And they might not have anything as well. Like, it's really one of those things where they could have nothing and we might just be vibing. Them knocking out the Pumpkaboo almost seems like a mistake because I'm not going to be putting down a 2 prize card Pokemon as far as I'm concerned. So, it's one of those things, if they do go for the knockout on the Pumpkaboo, yeah, they'll be able to draw a prize card. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's anything that's really going to matter here. We'll see, though. It does give us options for Ordinary Rod. We do have another Training Court. I'd really like for them to put down a Path to the Peak here, just so we have access to getting around what they may or may not have. We'll have to see what's going on. There's Max Phantom. If they knock out the Pumpkaboo for a few, I'm pretty happy. Because, again, we do have Ordinary Rod. I would like to get some of these cards back. Yeah. So far, we're doing pretty good. We do have ways to get around things. Now, there's no energy in our discard pile, but At this point, I think it's worthwhile for us to shuffle up our deck. I don't think Galarian Articuno is going to come out. We could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could actually attach through everything in our deck if we do go for Galarian Articuno. But I think if we get to that point, I could also search it back. So I'm going to go ahead and Quick Ball that away. I am just going to go for another Shadow Rider Calyrex. I think that seems really worthwhile. I'm going to keep that in my hand because there's nothing else that I really want to power up here. Let's go ahead and go Underworld Door. Let's power up this Pokemon. I think that sounds worthwhile. Let's go ahead and go Underworld Door. Let's power up this Pokemon. We did get the boss's orders, which seems particularly strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They, if worst comes to worst, they could hit us for 130, and they could hit us for 2 more, so that would mean that we're short if we actually hit with the Dragapult VMAX. I think we actually checkmate the game if we are able to go boss's orders here. So I'm going to go boss's orders, bring this up, leave them with only the Dragapults, and we're going to go ahead and take the knockout here. So we're going to go Max Geist. And I think their only play here is now going defensive boss because we have game on board with Alcremie. And getting Switch out of our prize cards is absolutely amazing because even if they go for Tool Jammer, it is something where they literally will not have access to being able to use... they won't have access to be able to use Tool Jammer, bring up a Pokemon with Air Balloon, and trap it. So that means that the only Pokemon they could bring up is Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, and they will still lose the game based off the amount of Pokemon that I have in play. They'd really have to go Marnie Path to the Peak and hope for... I honestly don't think it's possible at this point. But we'll see exactly how it goes. If they don't play Boss's Orders this turn, I think we're in the clear. Even if they do play Boss's Orders, they can't play Boss and Reset Stamp because Reset Stamp's out of the formats. So it is one of those things where I think we're in a really good spot this game. So they either go Marnie and I retreat and I win the game because I can go, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because at that point it wouldn't do anything with Tool Jammer or Path because we just have enough energies in play. They can go Boss. Boss is their best strategy right now. And that would bring up, it would be Boss, Tool Jammer. Oh, they do play Escape Rope. So at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and bring up this Shadow Rider. I think it's best for me to do that. If they just hit me for 30 here, it might just be the best play. Oh, they're going to go ahead and bring up our Alcremie VMAX. That's interesting for sure. So they're trying to knock out the Alcremie VMAX before we do anything else here. Interesting. So there's Bites. I still don't think that they could get a knockout on it because they just do 60. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and play a Switch. And yeah, I think it's worthwhile for us to play Switch into this. At this point, I don't think it's worthwhile. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and double check what's in the deck. It looks like we have plenty of cards that would be great into this deck. So let's go Quick Ball. We're going to pitch these away because I don't think we're actually going to need them. I'm grabbing this out of the deck to thin it a little bit more. I'm going to go Training Court goes into play because there's no reason for me not to play it. And let's pitch away all these cards that I find are relatively useless. Now, if we build up this Pokemon with enough energy, we literally just win the game. So first and foremost, Evolution Incense is not going to do anything. But we might want to waste it out of our deck at some point. Let's just go Underworld Door and power up this one. If we can get one more energy, I think we fully checkmate our opponents. I am going to go Quick Ball, try to pitch this out. I'm going to go Evolution Incense, pitch that away. And we have enough outs where we're just able to go ahead and Max Geist. We don't have the bosses, like we have boss's orders for next turn, but it's not really going to matter. We just get the knockout there. They won't be able to draw any more prize cards. The only prize cards that they should be able to draw is that first Pumpkaboo. And now with us even having access to Crobat and Ordinary Rod, we might even have more opportunities for us to get things out. So again, they might be able to go Path, Boss, but they might just be conceding here as well. It's one of those things where I go back and forth on what they're going to be doing. Maybe they'll just hit us. We have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're just going to concede the game. We got there. Shadow Rider, really strong deck. And that's what we got going on for this video today, peeps. I was able to win both those games, the game versus Ray, the game versus Dragapult. Two very good decks in this format. Shadow Rider convincingly strong as ever. I think it's just a really cool way to play the deck. Maybe the Pumpkaboo and the Path to the Peaks are a little bit much. I'm going to probably work on this list a bunch, but I do like how it can have answers against everything, similar to last format. So just trying to make the most powerful version of Shadow Rider ever. And of course, once I do create the most powerful version, I'm going to share it with all of y'all because I'm just trying to share my knowledge with everyone in the community. That being said, if you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's become a channel member. It's one of those things where I appreciate every single person who watches my videos, and I mean, that's really where it counts, but for the channel members, they've gone out of their way to financially support me, and I truly appreciate that gesture. It's one of those things when I started channel memberships up on my channel, and I just didn't know if anyone was ever going to do it, so I truly appreciate everyone taking the plunge, taking a leap of trust, and investing in me as a content creator. Truly makes a difference for me each and every month. If you haven't already thought about becoming a channel member, you might want to contribute to the channel, and I do put everything back into the channel to make it the best possible place to watch for Pokemon TCG content. Again, I truly appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Cheers. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.